So everyone, Neil Lifer here again. I hope I can cut the two videos together. This car next to me is charging right now. I just had a 15 minutes conversation with the owner. He complained about the German electric cars non-stop. So this is the amount of time charging is the amount of time I talk to him. This is the Audi Q4 electric. Yeah, so advertised 150 kilowatt charging, 92, and it's the only charger. Yeah. So, what's happening? He told me about very interesting experience he had, and he is switching out of electric car again. Unfortunately, he has already ordered his new car, so I can't convince him to buy a new. What he did is he actually ordered a hybrid again, a Kia Sorento 7-seater hybrid, plug-in hybrid or hybrid, I'm not even sure. And the reason he complained is about the lack of quality of the German electric cars. He had so many problems with his Q4. In fact, on the first day when he got the car delivered brand new, the car was broken and he has to leave the car behind. And then he had to pay extra to the dealership for the replacement car for the 2 days while they were repairing the defects that came from the factory. He was not very happy about that. On top of that, his experience with the car is that in winter the consumption is ridiculously high, and he says that a full battery 82 kilowatts can only do 220 kilometers in winter. That's crazy. I think it's because the ID platform is just bad. The Volkswagen ID platform is shared among IDs, their Qs and the Enyaqs and all the different brands. So bad quality. And he says now he's going to drive hybrid. And he also showed me the charging, and I think he's almost done. That's the guy. So for me personally, this was a very interesting experience, talking to a real user. And I think Germans have no chance of catching up to the Asians. Germans don't have any chance now, because they have had enough years of destroying the reputation among the customer base. And now he just drove off. It's a beautiful looking car, don't get me wrong, but the problem is the car is gone. And the car is expensive. I forgot to say, 74,000 euros. Spec for 74,000 euros. For 74,000 euros, you can get a beautiful Neo with 2 years free charging and swapping and electricity supply. Yeah, and the ET5 Touring, which I'm eyeing, costs less than 50,000 euros if you go for the base model, which is already very fast. Yeah, so this is the reality. This is the reason I do this kind of videos. I can't film him. He wouldn't be wanting that. Plus, I wouldn't be able to focus on the person, but you can trust me when I tell you everything what I just experienced. I can tell you this is underground. You have to talk to the users. And second thing is, it has to be the situation where he's not being paid or he doesn't have incentive to over exaggerate in one direction or another. If you just invite people, give them money and do market research, they're going to tell you whatever you want to hear. If you just go there and try to challenge people, they only want to tell you what you don't want to hear. So instead, the best way to research this kind of things is simple. Just go to those locations, charging stations, talk to owners. Ask them simple questions. I'm new to this thing. What's your experience? Can you show me how you charge your car? Things like that. Then you can do your own research. And I say this out loud because a lot of investors who are watching my videos right now, you are in the US, you're in Canada, you might be in one of the European countries, or all around the world, who knows. NEO shares is traded in all 3 stock exchanges, Hong Kong, Singapore, and New York Stock Exchange. Because of that, the retail customer base for the NEO shares is pretty broad. So you can do your own due diligence in your own local market, see how people are interacting with their own existing electric cars, and then based on that experience, you can decide what I'm telling you is the truth or is not the truth. And honestly, for the rest of my life, I probably have sworn off German cars altogether, even though I have most of the time bought German cars, particularly BMWs. I really love BMWs. But I have decided only to drive electric. So the last BMW I have, and I'll continue having it, is the BMW i3S. Even now in Germany, I rarely see anybody driving the i3 or i3S. I think it's due to the lack of range. When the car gets older, the battery gets older, and then the range drops further and further, and then nobody will drive that car anymore. That's the reality. So this problem, you don't have this problem with Neo. Yeah, that problem, you don't have it. Another fun detail, when I told him about the brand Neo, he thought initially I was talking about NIU, the scooter brand. So I had to explain to him it's the NIO, and then he knew, oh, it's the battery charging swapping company. Yeah, he knew that. But when he was trying to buy a new car, he didn't even consider the brand. The same situation happened yesterday at the Polestar showroom. I talked to a customer who was finished the test drive of a Polestar 4, and I asked him which brands did he test drive, and he didn't consider Neo either. He says because they don't have enough presence here, he's afraid the company will go bankrupt, and therefore the cars will not have supplies available, parts and so on. So it's a valid concern, I have to say honestly, it's a valid concern. However, in the future, as long as Neo can sell enough cars in China, I don't think they're going to give up the European operation, because they already lost so much money here. They must continue going down the route of brand building. After all, American market is dead. You don't need to worry about American customers anymore, which means you don't have to worry about building 5,000, 10,000 stations in the United States. Don't worry about that. Focus your money on China, focus your money on Europe and Southeast Asia, which I would recommend. Thailand, for example, is a great market for Neo. Zeekr is already there. Geely is already there. Polestar is already there. They sell plenty of cars there. Southeast Asia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, those countries. Neo should be selling the cars there. And of course Australia, but Southeast Asia first, honestly. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. I will go to Düsseldorf now.